Merry Christmas and welcome to Culture here on I-24 News. I'm Oded Grober. Today a very festive show, let's say. We'll talk to world-renowned Israeli conductor Yoel Levi. The interview has been finally released. We'll hear what all the fuss was about. And we'll take a look at the all-time greatest Christmas hit songs. After flip-flopping on the matter, and with President Obama stepping in, Sony Pictures finally did release the film The Interview, which was supposedly the reason behind the whole Sony Pictures hack. The film opened in several theaters and is also available online, at least for now, until the next hack comes along. I-24 News journalist Shai Ringel is apparently not afraid of North Korea. He's sat down and watched the film entirely, and is here to tell us all about it. Thanks for coming in, Shai.
You're welcome.
So is it any good?
No.
Okay,
No.
that was that.
We
Thank
can
you.
move on.
No, seriously. I mean, what's up?
It's a Seth Rogen movie, and even me, that I like Seth Rogen's movie, it's a very bad Seth Rogen movie. It's very cheesy and very... It has a good idea, and then it stops. James Franco is horrible in it, and it has too much ass jokes. Like, even for me, it was way too much. They talked too much about Seth Rogen's ass and about Kim Jong-un's ass. The best thing about the movie is actually Kim Jong-un's character. He's really likable. He's really nice. The guy who played him did an excellent job. He's very funny, but that's it. Like, the one person who should like the movie is Kim Jong-un.
So if only Sony had maybe...
They should have sent a copy.
Exactly. Send a script to North Korea, or send a screener to North Korea.
I don't think it's a spoiler because the scene was already leaked online, but there's the assassination scene in the movie, and this is the one that should get to Kim Jong-un because it's in slow motion and it's very graphic. But if without that scene, it's not a very good scene, even for a big ending.
So Obama maybe should have thought about it twice before getting behind the dick farting ass jokes film.
Obama did the right thing by saying that Sony should release the film. Sony should have released the film. It's not an exercise in satire, it's an exercise in free speech. That's the thing. And
not to mention that this could all end up being great PR for the film.
Maybe. It's still like seeing the film online is not maybe the best way. Maybe for this kind of movie you need a lot of people to laugh with.
So when it gets to theater you can go again.
No.
Thanks so much.
Thanks.
Yoel Levi is an internationally renowned Israeli conductor who has worked with distinguished orchestras such as the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra, the Brussels Philharmonic, and the Israel Philharmonic, among many, many others. He is especially known for his recordings of the work of Gustav Mahler. This week, he conducted Holst's The Planets at the Israeli Philharmonic, while NASA's images of space were screened in the background. It's very interesting. And he's here in the studio, I should say. Thanks for being here, Yoel.
Thank you for having me.
So tell me a little bit about this special concert.
Well, it is a normal concert because we do also Brahms Piano Concerto with one of the great pianists of our time, Yefim Bronfman. And then we do The Planets, which is an incredible piece. And we should not forget, it was written almost 100 years ago.
Right, when
100 years ago.
Venturing out into space was not even a dream.
Exactly. And the fascinating thing is that today, with the technology of today and with all the expeditions to space, we have these incredible imaginary photos and pictures that, with the help of NASA, we were able to screen it for the audience, and they can hear this great music about 7 different planets with great images from NASA.
You know, so let's take a moment and watch a clip from the show. Come back and hear some more. It really is very powerful and really grand, so I can see how it suits. What kind of feeling, what kind of emotion did you hope that it would maybe rise in the audience?
Well, every movement, every planet is a different character. So if we start with the first one, that Mars, that is incredible. It's like Star Wars, basically. John Williams got a lot of ideas from Gustav Holst.
Yeah.
Yes, and all the Star Wars music really, everyone knows.
Yeah,
It's where it started.
Very well known.
Where it started. So every movement has a totally different character, and that's the beauty of it. If one sounds like a war, the other one is like a love story, Venus, etc., etc. So for the audience, they should transfer themselves from every planet to a different character, a different place in the infinity of space.
Yeah, and different emotion.
Yes.
When you hear music, are the images that were screened here on the screen, is that similar to what you envision in your mind?
Yes and no. Sometimes yes, and sometimes I have to think about the music, and I have my own imagination about what should be there. But nevertheless, it's still very interesting to see some very interesting images about planets that we never visited in a way, and who knows if mankind will ever visit even. And it's fascinating, just fascinating.
Yeah, I hope it didn't take away your attention, that you weren't tempted to look up at the screen.
I could not ignore it, of course. I could not ignore it, but I love to do simultaneously many things together, so it's fun, actually.
Now, these sorts of concerts, this concert in particular, I think, is it meant to broaden the audience that would feel comfortable coming to watch some classical music?
Maybe these days we always try to bring something extra to the audiences, to feel, look, this is great classical music.
Right.
Even though it was written a long time ago, but here there's some extra to make them even more interested. I've done this piece normal setting too, without any movie, without any picture. And it's great.
The audience was different? Were it different people sitting in the chair?
No, it was normal concert goers, and the reaction was tremendous because it is a masterpiece.
Right.
At the end of the day, it is a masterpiece, and here they just get a bonus. The audiences get a beautiful bonus, which is a NASA images.
There is a fear that the audience for classical music is dwindling. Do you see that, or is there enough energy and enough excitement from younger people as well?
It depends, I'm traveling a lot, and many times I see a lot of young people coming to concerts, which is wonderful, and that's always the future. And I think many orchestras in the world really concentrate, making a special effort to promote our concerts to the young generation. And it all starts from really education and schools, what they do. And I think that is our future, to keep investing in our school system, in our education, etc.
Do you think the state should also take part in it? Should also support the art?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because without arts, we are nothing. We have no soul.
And in Israel, do you think that happens enough? Do you think that there's?
It's never enough. It's never enough. Israel, of course, has other priorities. Nevertheless, to maintain our quality of Israelis, human beings, our culture, we have to invest in arts.
Yeah. Well, there are other ways that people go about raising awareness and making maybe the profession a little more sexy. There's a new show that's coming up on TV soon called Mozart in the Jungle, that portrays the life of classical musicians with a lot of sex and drugs and everything like that. Is there some truth to that?
Who knows? TV soap operas are always very interesting, and but I always say anything that promotes music, it's a good thing.
Yeah,
it's a good thing.
Yeah, and on more of a general question, you were very well known for your work with the not with, but conducting the works of Gustav Mahler. I'm curious, what drew you to his work? Where's the personal connection?
Well, Gustav Mahler music, it's really music about our life and all the different facets of our life. Yeah, tragedies, death, life, beliefs, religion or non-religion or nature. And to have one composer that consolidated all the different aspects of humankind in one composition, that is amazing. And his music is just talks to me a great deal in a way that many other composers probably don't. However, you should not forget, I recorded more than 40 CDs, and not only Gustav Mahler, I love other great composers as well, and there are so many great masters from Stravinsky, Beethoven, and all the great
What
masters.
was the hook how did you get hooked on classical music?
It just happened, you know, as a young boy. When I arrived to Israel, I grew up in Israel and studied here, and that's where I started. It's my parents, even though they didn't know much about classical music, but they saw that the way I reacted to music, and they got some advice from some friends, and that's where I started.
Well, we're all very thankful for that. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you for having me.
In a moment, we'll check out some of the most successful Christmas albums, but first, our cultural recommendation for the day.
Long closed to the public, Paris's Natural History Museum's collection of minerals goes on display at its new exhibition, Treasures of the Earth. The museum is displaying 600 of its 130,000 specimens. Visitors can admire 20 giant crystals as well as several hundred other rare pieces. Completely redesigned, the legendary Hall of Giant Crystals is waiting to be rediscovered among a natural kaleidoscopic environment, which gives people the chance to view the minerals of 5 continents and their formation, while also including a revelation of the world of meteorites and the shapes of colors of sculpted objects as historical jewels.
Now Daniel Campos is joining me in the studio. Daniel, great to have you back.
Thank you, Adan.
We're
How are
talking
you?
about Christmas. I'm doing great. I'm celebrating Christmas full on. I'm in the Christmas spirit. And
What's your soundtrack?
What's my soundtrack? Personally, it's my wife's actually, and when she puts the tree together, it's always Elvis in the background.
Elvis. Okay.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, definitely one of the top classics. Today we're going to start out by talking about some of the ones that have grossed more revenue.
Yeah.
We're going to start out with Kenny G. With his Christmas classics. He's put out over 4 albums with Christmas themes, sold over...
Seems to be working for him.
Very much. It's over 7.3 million copies.
Wow.
One album he released in 1994, plus the other albums he released, he sold 4.3 million as well. So we're talking about over 12 million copies. Real millionaire out of Christmas music.
That's unbelievable. Let's listen for a moment, see if we can understand why he's doing so well. He does it well.
Supermarket music, no?
Yeah, a little bit, but I guess it's popular for a reason. All right.
It's funny that he's Jewish, and he's never released an album with Hanukkah themes, or he's really cashing in on
Much smaller
Christmas.
market. I think it may have something to do with that. Who else is up there?
Well, we have something. Group. Well, I only heard about them today. Chip Davis and his Mannheim Rollers. I didn't even know who they were until I did research this morning. I was raised in Latin America and I never heard of him, but he's very popular in North America.
Yeah, there's nothing more American than that. Let's take a look. Yeah, I certainly can see it, in some mega church or something. It's something along that line. I bet they're very big
He's
around
made
the Bible Belt.
$175 million.
Wow.
Over 20 million copies.
You can't argue with that.
Wow, it's incredible. This show, it has like snowflakes falling from the roof. But
all right. More importantly, James Brown,
albums. We have some great classic albums like James Brown, Funky Christmas. We also have a Phil Spector album he released, which was also, Phil Spector is Jewish as well. It's quite funny.
And we must, of course, remember Elvis, the greatest of them all. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Thank you so much, Daniel.
Thank you.
Thank you at home for joining us as well. I hope you enjoyed our show and that you're all having a very Merry Christmas.